James, this costume is ridiculous. I look silly.
You're dressed appropriately for this meeting, as am I.
You look good in anything. I don't have that power.
Well, I didn't have time to order a tailor to stitch you a brand new suit to your liking for this occasion. And this isn't a costume.
Then, what would you call it?
A subjective taste in fashion.
James, just give me a straight answer. If this isn't a costume, what is it?
It's a fancy suit designed to help you blend into the crowd we'll be surrounded by.
Can I at least take off the bow tie? It makes me breathe hard.
You may slightly loosen it.
Thanks. If I'm being honest, your suit doesn't look too good either.
I'm not trying to be the center of attention. If I can be passed off at a glance, that's already a great advantage to have here. It decreases my chances of being detected.
Yes, because talking to someone like Alastor definitely won't bring attention to you.
If during our meeting we gather a crowd, we'll adapt. Whether that means vacating the premises or splitting up to divide their attention.
You are the boss. Just say what should we do and I will try not to get eaten.
That brings me to another point. Proper etiquette. The people of Cannibal Town may be savages, but they have a culture and particular way of life. We have to abide by that if we hope to gain anything today.
You sure we are not going to be dinner as soon as we get there?
I'm not worried. We have the proper outfits and knowledge of how to act. Though, on the slight chance things do go wrong, you know the drill.
Yes, always be prepared and whatever. Have a plan B to your plan B.
Close enough. Go back if you can, and if not, keep going forward until you can turn around. Now, enough. We're here. Look forward, smile, and don't break character.
Hello.
Good day to you.
Ah, hello there. Salutations.
Good afternoon.
James, I don't see him. You sure he's here?
I have no doubt. They're all stirring. Alastor's definitely here.
His face was priceless. It wasn't one of my proudest ruses, but I sure got a laugh out of it. I can't for the life of me imagine what he was thinking as he saw me holding his leather. Oh, those were the days. Come to think of it, there was this other time when... Oh, James, it's you. I was wondering where you disappeared off to.
Surprised to see me?
Just a little. How have you been?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
Alastor, who's this? Another friend of yours?
Ah, right. James, meet Rosie. Rosie, meet James. He's an old associate of mine. Very educated individual. Always asking questions and thirsty for knowledge. Righto?
Somewhat.
Well, a friend of Alastor is a friend of mine. And who's this little guy?
My name is Ivan. Pleasure to meet you.
Oh, the pleasure's all mine. I'm more than happy to welcome new faces to this wonderful establishment. You boys hungry?
I'm alright, but thank you for your generous offer.
Come now, James. You won't have just the slightest bit. I can assure you it's delicious.
If I must. What is it that you have?
We've got everything, dearest. New batches came in fresh this morning.
What would you recommend our guest, Rosie?
You look like a lung enjoyer, James. Though that might be too much on your palate. Maybe just some basic neck meat.
That'll do, thank you.
Great! I'll get you something made. On the house. And what would you like?
I'm actually on a diet, but thank you.
You sure? We got plenty of options.
Well, I guess I can take something small. I don't want to be rude.
Wonderful! I'll get you some fingers then.
Sounds nice.
You fellas stay put. I'll be right back. Alastor, would you be a dear and entertain our guests?
Oh, it'd be my pleasure. So, what brings you to Cannibal Town, my curious companion?
You're a smart man, Alastor. You should know better than anyone.
Yes, you're likely here to speak with me again, right? Hold another one of those interviews, as you so call them.
You'd be correct.
I have to say, I respect the hustle. You dressed for the occasion, accepted the catering, and you even brought your rodent companion. I suppose I may answer your inquiries as a token of respect.
Just like that. I thought you'd resist to the idea.
Now, why would I do something like that?
You seemed agitated the last time we spoke. I was anticipating a not-so-welcoming reunion.
What kind of man would I be if I held on to such a frivolous thing for the better part of a year?
But you remember what we spoke about during our meeting.
The details are escaping me, but I do recall you explaining something to me at the end.
Do you remember anything else?
James, Jam on toast. How could you always be so serious?
Jam on toast.
Yes, I do remember what you said. I was flustered and confused, but look at it this way. We had that talk. Almost a whole year passes and we're talking again. I don't hold a grudge on you. There's no point. Besides, I have much bigger fish to fry.
So, in that time, you've moved on.
It's not healthy to obsess over one thing for too long, you know.
I'm having trouble believing you'd let something like that go so quickly.
You're welcome to believe whatever you wish. And who knows? Maybe I did move on. Or maybe I'm hiding my true feelings until I have the opportunity to strike. Only kidding.
Just a quick question. Are you and Rosie friends, or,
She's a very close friend of mine. Always knows how to lighten the mood and smile from ear to ear.
Right.
Though now my own curiosity must be satisfied. Did you accept Rosie's hospitality to impress me? Or did you maybe want to be polite?
The latter. And if it shows her that I'm willing to partake in her culture, that might set up future meetings and collaborations.
Always tactical, this one.
Now, before Rosie returns, I had some questions to ask you.
Oh, right. Please, go on.
I'll start by asking for your thoughts on the hotel. Do you still believe it to be a pointless endeavor?
By that, you mean redemption being impossible?
Yes.
Let's be honest with ourselves here. Do these repulsive individuals really have a chance to become better people? They're down here for a reason. And if they want to grovel and beg for a second chance at decency, they should have considered that before living a life of sin.
So that's a yes.
Indeed. But watching their pitiful attempts at bettering themselves puts a smile on my face.
How about that fight with Heaven?
What about it?
How did it go? And what are your general thoughts?
The brawl was entertaining, to say the least. The scent of blood is still in the air surrounding the hotel. I'm sure with your curiosity you saw some of the battles through your own means.
I did. I could recognize your abilities from a mile away. The green and black aren't hard to miss.
What else did you see?
I saw intermittent flashes of gold mixed with your green. What happened?
Oh, I had a little encounter with Adam. I was requested to deal with him myself.
And what happened?
Our battle was cut short, sadly. I would have been happy to continue, but you know how it is. A war is taking place, and I have to balance out being in two places at once.
Cut short? How did your fight with Adam go then?
It was good fun. The fool could hardly swing his weapon and speak at the same time. It was like outmaneuvering a wasted drunk.
Really? Was he that incompetent?
Absolutely. I could tell he had little to no combat experience.
I have a theory. Because Adam and his exorcists had been carrying out the extermination for centuries, they lost their touch. They mistakenly boiled it down to a slaughter instead of a battle. They focused on killing as many sinners as possible without considering if they themselves could be attacked. Hence the shock that angelic weaponry could harm angels. Adam was affected by this too. Maybe he received training at one point, but it was forgotten and neglected over years upon years of not using it properly. If killing sinners was that easy, why do your best? So when your battle took place, Adam was caught off guard because he didn't expect anyone to fight back, especially someone to your degree.
That's actually a very sound idea.
I'm sure that's also how Carmela Carmine managed to kill an exorcist herself.
Your theory seems to hold up. Perhaps that's also why such a large number of angels fell to our forces.
Now you see it. Though I doubt this was the last time we'll see Heaven's wrath.
I also pondered the concept for some time.
And what do you make of it?
It's hard to prepare for something when we don't know when or how they'll strike. Best advice I can give is to stay on your toes.
Have you seen any of the others think about this?
Not particularly. They're more preoccupied with other activities and things.
Did you play a part in the construction of the new hotel?
Of course, I've been part of the contribution since the very beginning. I wouldn't wish to be left out.
The interior is very well done. Did you have any involvement with that?
A little. I just gave it a few touch-ups here and there. Were you at the hotel?
Yes. I had the pleasure of seeing it myself when I spoke with Vaggie.
Nice to hear my taste in interior design is appreciated.
On another topic, I learned not too long ago that you made a deal with Charlie.
Ah, so you've heard.
Do you know what you'll ask her? Or are you saving this for maybe a special occasion?
I've been fiddling around with some ideas, but I have a good sense of what I'm going to do.
Would you mind sharing?
If you don't mind, I might keep that to myself. I know you're a man who loves to watch and then learn. You wouldn't want any surprises spoiled, would you?
I suppose not. But I can infer that you're going to use this to the fullest extent.
You know me so well.
On what parameters is your deal?
She agreed to fulfill one favor for me at any time of my choosing in which she harms no one.
Interesting. And Charlie keeps her soul?
Correct.
But Charlie may try to wiggle herself out of any ideas you suggest on the grounds that it may harm someone, such as not following through on a favor because it could mentally or emotionally harm someone.
Well, that seems a bit silly.
Did you two ever specify what kind of harm she would not inflict?
Not exactly. I doubt she'd make such an effort, but you do have a point. I suppose I can take that into account when cashing in. Thank you for your advice.
I did not intend to give you ideas. I was only asking you about the details of your deal.
Yet you've indirectly helped me. Again, your kindness is very much appreciated.
And here's your meat. Enjoy yourselves.
My, Rosie, you've outdone yourself this time. This is some high-quality dining for our guests.
Has this been disinfected?
I beg your pardon?
To avoid any nasty pesticides. And was the equipment used to prepare this properly sanitized?
James, it's cannibalism, not rocket science. Not everything needs to be complicated.
I'm simply asking about the safety of consuming this dish.
I can assure you, it's perfectly safe to consume, dear.
It doesn't appear to be cooked either.
You've never had flesh before, have you?
Not once. And could I be given some utensils? Or am I expected to eat this with my bare hands?
I could fix all that for you. First-timers are always like this. No worries. Is there anything you need, Ivan?
No, I'm fine with this. Thank you very much.
No problem, honey.
Were you stalling?
If I'm going to consume something like that, I want it to be acceptable.
Well, it's not going to be any kind of food you are used to.
I understand I might have altered customary practices with my requests, but let's return to the subject at hand. We were talking about Charlie's deal?
Yes, and how you provided me insight on how Charlie may work around the rules of our agreement.
I can't imagine what you are planned for her.
Those fingers still have bones in them, don't they?
Yeah, but they give texture. It's not bad.
Good to see you enjoy them.
Aside Charlie's deal and the Battle of Heaven, could we briefly discuss your rivalry with Vox?
Ah, yes. What would you like to know?
What do you see him as?
Certainly not my equal. He and I have quite some history, which I'll delve into another time. But right now, he's merely a child playing a game I've dominated for years. What's even more amusing is that he still believes he's the one on top of the food chain in hell. Lacking both awareness of his place here and how insignificant he is compared to me. His entire presentation of style, expression, and more is just a sad replica of mine.
He wishes to be you?
Exactly. Specifically, some new era version of me. Yet that is the whole reason he will fail. Instead of embracing his own identity and pursuing more worthwhile things, he spends his energy trying to be a better version of someone he isn't. Though watching him struggle and cope is fun.
Interesting. I'm beginning to see the signs of what you mean. I spoke with him, and I have my own ideas developed from that conversation.
I'm sure he's filled your head with stories and arguments that he's more than what he is, but do tell.
From what I gathered, it seems this relationship you two have is one-sided. Vox seems to be much more passionate about his hatred for you. Meanwhile, you treat him more akin to something like a mosquito. Small and irritating.
You'd be correct. It looks like there's not much left for you to learn. You seem to understand everything quite well enough.
Oh, trust me. There's always something to learn.
If you don't mind me asking, what do you think of Lucifer? He came to help to the hotel, and I'm sure you two have different ideas about things.
His Royal Majesty, the King of Hell. He's definitely unorthodox.
What do you mean?
The initial detail which will catch your attention first is his physical appearance. Much shorter than I thought. His personality is also a far cry from what you'd be led to believe. He's closer to being a clown than he is a king.
And how did he react to you and your contribution to the hotel?
His demeanor was close to sour in my presence, although I suspect it's jealousy.
Jealousy? What did you do?
Oh, it's nothing serious. I simply played a little game with him. As it turns out, a father figure replacing him for Charlie is quite a sensitive point for him. With Charlie being all he has, it's understandable that he'd be defensive about retaining what little he has.
I believe I understand what happened. One last question, and that will be all.
Ask away.
This one will be a touch personal. Could you provide insight on how you gained such powers you wield?
Well, what can I say? In this world, it's not always about how much knowledge you can gain through research. Sometimes it's about knowing who, rather than what.
So, you were provided assistance for your rise to power.
Hello again. My sincerest apologies for taking so long. I've got your meat right here. We did our best to fill your needs. Sadly, we couldn't find any clean silverware for you to use.
That's perfectly fine. And thank you for your hospitality. I apologize if my earlier requests seem rude.
Oh, you don't need to worry. I've dealt with bigger hassles than someone wanting their meat prepared a special way.
Thank you for the fingers. They were surprisingly good.
I am so happy to hear. You're more than welcome to visit us here more often, honey.
Alastor and I just finished talking. With that, I believe it's time for us to leave. Thank you very much for your time, Alastor.
No problem at all, James.
Would it be alright if I brought this with me? I'd hate to have it go to waste.
Oh, of course. And if you ever want more, you know where to find me.
Thank you. Until next time.
Goodbye.
Until later.
Toodles!
So, did you get what you wanted?
Not even close. There's still so much left, but progress is unbelievably slow. Here, I wanted to know who Alastor made a deal with.
Why did you stop? You could have asked there at the end.
Not with Rosie there. And I'm sure you noticed, but we were beginning to draw a crowd. It was too risky. We'll get another chance.
Alright. Aren't you going to try that meat?
No. As soon as we're out of sight of Cannibal Town, I'm disposing of this disgusting entree.
Wait. Did you ask Rosie for all those fixes to buy time?
Bingo.
Well played, but it's kind of a shame. She spends all that effort to make that for you. You won't even try one bite?
I have standards, Ivan. I will not stoop so low.
Your loss.
Tonight's the night I'm coming alive. You've lived in my heart all of my life. You're a part of me, I'm a piece of you, irresistible you. What will we do? Searched my soul for the sake of letting go, but it's you I need, irresistible you. Tantalizing still, just can't hide the thrill that you give me tonight. Nobody's to blame, alone you will never win this game. It takes two, will we make it? We might. I've searched my soul for the sake of letting go, but it's you I need you, irresistible you. Tantalizing still, just can't hide that thrill that you give me tonight.